welcome to everyone. It's my joy to be here with you. Today I will speak about Babaji and Christ's plan for the salvation of mankind. And I want to start with a song. I'm not even going to sing it, but I'll tell you it. At Swamiji's, it's sometimes known as Chant of the Angels, or Life Mantra. And it is said that Swamiji heard this directly from angels or devas, and that this is a mantra that they would chant. And some of the words to it are: life is a mission from on high, life is the quest for inner joy. And Babaji and Christ, they have a mission for this planet, which I will talk about. But we also, too, if we consider ourselves to be true disciples of Master, and if we are following this ray intently of Swamiji's, that we too then are part of their mission, and we have a duty to help and to help uplift this planet. And we'll talk about the different ways that we could do that. But once I asked Swamiji, I just straight up just asked him for samadhi. I just thought, well, I'll just, get up my courage and just go ask him for this. And I visualized, maybe he'll slap me on the chest and I'll just go into samadhi and all right, then we'll have this thing all figured out. And when I that was actually a very scary moment for me. Because I was pretty sure of Swamiji's spiritual stature, but I was not 100% sure. And there was a part of me that was in fear when I was going to ask him that thought he might just say, "Oh, you've caught me. I don't know how to do that. Sorry. I don't know." And that really would have broken my heart. And because there was a part on the inside of me that felt that he did have that and that he did know, and I believe deeply that he did have that. But anyways, so when I went and asked him, "Will you give me samadhi?" He said, "If I was in samadhi all the time, how would I help people?" And that just kind of shut me down. I didn't push further. Yeah, yeah, what about me or whatever? Where's my samadhi? Um, I took it to mean that I wasn't ready for it yet, and that I needed to think about other people and helping them rather than just my own samadhi. Um, another time, Swamiji, I was just talking with Swamiji, and he said that Master told him that his life would be one of intense activity and meditation. And then Swamiji told me, and Master put intense activity first for a reason. And then he laughed and he said, "And well, you have come to me," meaning that my life also would be one of intense activity and meditation. And this particular path, this is needed right now. We need to follow in Swamiji's footsteps to help this planet. This planet is desperately in need of help. That's not a hard fact to see. Um, and we don't have to decide that we're going to be Babaji tomorrow and take full responsibility for it, but we can do our little part and we can tune in to the mission of the masters. Let me read two quotes from Autobiography of a Yogi that I've always found inspiring. One of them, Crea Yoga, the scientific technique of God realization, he finally said with solemnity, will ultimately spread in all lands and aid in harmonizing the nations through man's personal, transcendental perception of the infinite Father. This is, of course, Babaji speaking to Lahiri Mahashaya before he gave him Kriya, and it was Lahiri Mahashaya's job, you could say, to give Kriya to the entire world. But this will ultimately spread in all lands. And I asked Swamiji, how will that happen? Because I didn't think that there would be necessarily a receptivity everywhere to Kriya Yoga. And Swamiji just kind of laughed and said, we'll just have to leave that one as a mystery. Um, but I am seeing it. I recently was in Japan, which is why I chose this topic as well. And there's such an openness there for truth and for Master's teachings. And obviously, the culture is so different, the language is so different, but all human beings are seeking truth. And I would guess from what I've seen in my little time on this earth that so many old ways that we have of religion, of, well, I can't really call it spirituality, but trying to find God, they're just broken. They don't work. And that people are fed up with that, but they don't know where to turn. And then when they read Autobiography of a Yogi, when they start to learn Master's teachings that make sense, that are scientific, that put the responsibility in our own hands, that are we going to take the teachings and then practice them every day? People like that. People are ready for that. People are starving for that and want that. And it's out, it might not be each one of our jobs to get up on stage and give lectures, but we can help organize. We can do little things. We also, more than anything, more than any lecture will ever give, we help change people, yes, by our magnetism, but by our example, by simply living the teachings, by being happier people. And people say that and say, what are you doing? What does that guy have? I want what he has. And it's not just what we eat for breakfast. It's that we do Kriya every day, that we have energization, that we have an understanding of energy, that it's guru disciple attunement and that relationship. It is so powerful for us. And we live the life, we live the teachings. And then in that way, we are spreading Babaji's message, and people will see the joy that Kriya gives us, not just in our meditation room, but in our daily lives. And people will want that. Um, so Korea is going to spread in all lands, and it's going to harmonize the nations. Isn't that beautiful? That we see all this fighting between all the different nations, different groups, even if they live 10 kilometers away, they can't get along with one another. But when more and more people start doing Kriya and realizing through their own personal experience the oneness of mankind, then naturally political situations are going to disappear, meaning negative ones, and political harmony will come. In fact, just as there is the United States of America, just as in India, all of the different states are united in one country, Master predicted that there would become first a United States of Europe, that all of the South American countries would become united, and then ultimately that we will have a United States of the world, with all the different countries all coming together under some kind of leadership. He didn't exactly explain what the details of it, but in this statement here, what is going to harmonize more than anything is man's personal transcendental perception of the infinite Father. The more and more individuals start to see that, yes, it's all one, that there is one God who's taking care of all of us, and we are one with that one God, the more that this planet will just know peace and harmony. And a lot of this isn't just that. And Babaji does have a plan. But it isn't just that he's sitting there and, making his notes and then telling five people, go out there and do this. A lot of it is simply that the yugas are going to spin. We're going to go higher and higher into Dwapara Yuga, no matter what happens. The way the sun moves around its dual and our planet and the solar system gets closer to the galactic center. But the most amazing thing is that Babaji has planned this out for a long, long time. And he has a plan that reaches way far into the future. I met someone, she may be a saint, she may not be a saint. Perhaps I'm not qualified to know. She seems pretty saintly to me. She told me that all the saints on this planet, whether they're Muslim or Christian or Buddhist or no religion, which I'll also get into later in this talk, no, meaning no outward affiliation with some guy who died long ago, and now we say this ism. I am, this thing or that thing, Buddhism. She told me that all saints on the planet report to Babaji and tune in to Babaji, that he is in charge of this planet and that they do what he says. I found that super, super fascinating, because she's not of this path. She's of a different path, but very, very fascinating. Anyways, it also just gives me great comfort that there is a plan the great ones are in charge, and that ultimately everything is going to turn out okay. Once I think it looked like China and India were going to go to war. I don't remember exactly who, but in Ananda Ma's time, and all of her devotees were really nervous, and they came to her, what should we do? And she said, don't you think that he who has created this planet knows how to take care of it? Don't worry. And that line has also always been comforting. That even when things are looking bad out there, that there is a God, there are his, great saints. Babaji goes even beyond a saint, who he's really one with God in entirety. And that's what an avatar is. But they know what they're doing. They're taking care of things. Let's read the next line here. The Maha Avatar, or the Maha Avatar, is in constant communion with Christ. And that's it here, Master speaking of Babaji. Together they send out vibrations of redemption and have planned the spiritual technique of salvation for this age. The work of these two fully illumined masters, one with the body, that would be Babaji, and one without it, that would be Christ, is to inspire the nations to forsake suicidal wars, race hatreds, religious sectarianism, and the boomerang evils of materialism. Babaji is well aware of the trend of modern times, especially of the influence and complexities of Western civilization, and realizes the necessity of spreading the self-liberations of yoga equally in the West and in the East. One thing that's so beautiful of this, there are sending out vibrations of redemption. It is our job to tune in to these vibrations of redemption. Obviously, we ourselves individually want to be redeemed. We want to become saints. We want all the suffering to end and to just live a life of perfect joy. But to do that, we have to tune in to their vibrations of redemption personally. But then also, we have to become channels for that. In my story of asking Swamiji for samadhi, that it's not enough if I just want it for myself. That we have to want whatever we receive spiritually to give that to others and help uplift. And here's another fascinating story. Swamiji said that uh, he had a desire to help everyone achieve liberation. Um, and then he said, and every desire has to be fulfilled. He said, I don't know how that one's going to be fulfilled, but I know the laws of the universe. Every desire has to be fulfilled, so we'll just have to see. Um, and he kind of said it all light and jokingly, but for all of these years, I've been thinking about that. And uh, Master also, we all know his words. I'll come back a trillion times, again and again on bleeding feet, if need be, even if one stray brother's left by the wayside. And he's an avatar, so that's his job. But I think even for us just to become Jivan Muktas, we have to have some desire to want to help everyone, not just a few people. And I think when Swamiji said, I have a desire to give everyone liberation, that he was hinting at something. That as we become Jivan Muktas, we do become one with God. And it is God's job to give everyone liberation. And in our oneness with God, there must be some part of us that would experience that responsibility for all souls everywhere and making sure that they achieve the true happiness that has been propelling them lifetime after lifetime to seek joy. And that's just a fascinating thought to try to wrap our heads around, to try to comprehend. And we'll never fully understand a master with our intellect, that some part of us has to simply open our hearts and receive their consciousness and kind of let go and accept that they know what they're doing and let them guide our lives individually and open ourselves to the fact that we also are part of this great plan that uplifts the whole planet. But what I'm trying to get to is our individual salvation. It's connected with the evolution of this planet as well. Um, and surrendering to that, opening up to that, allowing them to come in and individually take charge of our lives and opening ourselves up to helping others. It's just a great feeling that comes with that. I think Master here wrote the work of these two fully illumined masters, one with the body and one without it, is for us to help wrap our head around. So Krishna was a human being, you know, a man who walked on this planet and ate food and breathed air and everything that we do as human beings. You don't think of Krishna as going out and going grocery shopping, but maybe the gopis did it for him. Who knows? But the point here is that he had all the normal needs with the human body like anyone else. So with the body, I'm giving an example here with Krishna, but then without is that he had, and he still has, Krishna consciousness. And it's very important as we tune into any master, be it Paramhansa Yogananda, Babaji, Krishna, whoever, that we don't just put the Murti up on the altar and worship the form and think if I get my form worship proper, that then I'll be saved. It's better to do that than do nothing, but it's important to go beyond the form and understand that yes, he was a man, but also he has an eternal consciousness. And tuning into that consciousness is our pathway to salvation. Jesus Christ said, I am the light and the way. No man comes unto the Father except through me. And Christians all over the world hit everybody over the head with that stick saying, see, Christ said he's the one. If you don't go through him, you're not going to be saved. All Buddhists are damned to hell, but almost 100% probably, except the saints of Christians do not understand that he was saying, my consciousness is the way to God. Christ consciousness, that's the same as Krishna consciousness, the blue field in the spiritual eye. The reason the Nayaswamis wear blue is that consciousness, Krishna consciousness, Christ consciousness. And we have to attune ourselves to that in order to find our salvation. And look, obviously it's not easy. Most of us aren't just sitting down and seeing the blue field at the spiritual eye when we sit to meditate. So this is why seva is important. We have to act, we have to do in this world. We have to feel that consciousness flowing through us, even if we are sweeping the floor after satsang or setting up chairs or bringing the prasad. Don't feel I'm the one who decided to spend this money on the prasad, and I'm the one who gave this prasad when you bring it to satsang in some physical location. No, you missed the point that we have to feel that God is the one who gave me the money. God's the one who purchased this. God's the one who drove the car to the satsang. God's the one who offered it and put it on the table, all of it. And we're trying to feel more and more that it's God who's doing that through us. And even that might sound like a little thing, but because it's something we just do all the time or whatever. But if we do something like that, we are participating in Christ and Babaji's plan for the salvation of this world. Perhaps I know I'm speaking to an online audience. Perhaps we're just helping with accounting, or perhaps we just are in the background on Zoom, pressing some button, go live on Facebook or something. I don't know. Even then, we are participating. We are doing our part, and we're spreading Master's message. And it's not even, and I'll go into this now, that we're so much spreading Ananda. Ananda's a beautiful thing. We should spread it. People need to come into this. But there's something even greater than that, that Master's message really was about self-realization. And that doesn't even have to come through an organization, that people individually can tune into Master. In my opinion, it's better to join Ananda, to have interaction with the living links of Master, with those who spent time with Swamiji, with those who have the ability to go really deep into the teachings and they live the teachings. But it doesn't mean that then Ananda's the way and it has to be done in this Ananda way. That let's face it, all of us are individuals, and in some way, we're all going to approach God in our own unique way. And that's very important also. And at this time in Ananda's history, we are preserving that, or holding on to that, and letting each individual be unique. And we need to hold on to that, because that's the way that God made us. And so Master's mission really then is self-realization, of helping each little individual part become more and more realized, ultimately self-realized. And the more each one of us, you think probably, okay, I don't want to do Hong Sa tonight. Gosh, can't I just eat some food and watch a movie and go to bed? Every little time that we say, well, how about we do both? Let's do some Hong Sa first and, get our meditation done, and then fine, we can eat some food and relax and watch a movie. Every time we put out that little extra energy and decide that we'll even do a little bit more of Hong Sa today, we are helping uplift the planet's consciousness. We are on the side of light, the side that says your true joy is going to be found on the inside, the side that says I can be peaceful, even when all around me everything's going so crazy. And so don't think that your little meditation that you do this evening is just about you. It's not. You are connected, and we begin to feel more and more our connection with each other, through energy, through consciousness, through thought, that every time we think a good thought about another human being, we are helping uplift the planet and purify this planet, rather than all those negative thoughts that are spinning around, that we're adding to the positive thoughts. Please do not take this. It's just a personal theory of mine. It's probably nonsense. But this world is trying to figure out, where does cancer come from? And, you know, how many of us are on a cell phone, and how many human beings are out there on a cell phone yelling and shouting and saying negative things? And in my opinion, then that's getting transferred into some scientific ray signal, electromagnetic radiation bouncing off of cell phone towers. But in my opinion, all those negative thoughts, people yelling at each other on the phone, that's all surrounding us. And I can't prove that that causes cancer. I honestly have no idea, but I'm sure it's not good for us. But if we're on the phone and we're saying, I love you, I care about you, I hope you're doing well, isn't it a beautiful day outside? Then we're putting good vibrations into the ether that is surrounding this planet. And so every thought that we have, every action that we do, every nice thing we say to one another, um, God, I still have a pair of pants that are God knows how old, maybe older than some of you here on this screen, because someone just said, "Oh, those are nice pair of pants. Those look nice." And people just say one nice thing. And I mean, God, I try to get rid of those pants. They're so old now, but I think, oh, but that person said, oh, these look nice. Just one little nice thought can change people, can affect people. And we want to become channels for that. And really, then we are participating in, Master's mission. I need to move on here. So there's a book, Two Souls, Four Lives. Highly recommend reading it. It's about, Master being, William the Conqueror, and, Swamiji being King Henry. I was in seclusion, I don't know, 3 months ago, and I was not planning on reading that book, but it just kind of like fell on my lap, and I just dove into it deeply. And, basically, Babaji, Master, they've been planning what's going to happen now all the way back then, whenever King Henry lived. And they, Master took that one little island, separated it from the rest of Europe that was all just chaos and fighting, and organized it and made it spiritual and brought harmony and peace. And then people could actually do things, brought a system of government. Now, yeah, of course, it's not nice that then the British went out and conquered the whole world and were terrible to everyone. We know that wasn't nice. But the good part of that is English spread everywhere. And now when I travel to Singapore, I can just speak English to everybody. Not so many people in Japan speak English, but enough did that we can at least get on the ground and start translating things into Japanese and figure out how to make stuff happen. And I just felt that I was a channel, that all of us who went to Japan were a channel for Master to bring his teachings. And I feel that if it hadn't happened in England all those years ago, it wouldn't be possible what's happening today. Beyond that, I met the writer of that book, Catherine Kyrevy, and I just thanked her. Thank you for writing this book. And she told me a story that she was sitting with Swamiji at dinner, and she studied. She went deep into it, and she was reading of the life of King Henry, and she said to Swamiji, and Swamiji was King Henry, you know, it doesn't seem that King Henry evolved in his consciousness. That mainly when you read about other kings, they grow up, they get older, they evolve, they make better decisions, but it doesn't seem that King Henry evolved. And Swamiji said, that's right. He didn't. And what that means, that I take that, is that Swamiji was a Jivan Mukta even in that incarnation. That he wasn't evolving. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was just tuned into Master. And he'll say again and again that he was the one king who didn't go out and try to expand all of his territory. All he tried to do was preserve what his father had done. And those words sound so spiritual to me as well, that we want to tune in and continue to preserve. For me, Swamiji is my father, but our Babaji's work as well, that we want to preserve those radiations, those vibrations that he and Christ and Paramhansa Yogananda are sending into this world. We want to help spread that. We want to be in tune with that. So they've been planning this long, long ago. Oh, here's the deal. So Swamiji would say that we know that Babaji is Krishna, and that and that Master was Arjuna, and even in the times of Krishna and Arjuna, that they would say that they were incarnations of Nara and Narayan. And then Swamiji would often say, and God knows how long these avatars have been coming back uh, for the upliftment of this planet, yugas and yugas. But here's the deal. When Catherine told me that Swamiji said no evolution, I just got goosebumps. I was like, Swamiji's also been coming back again and again with Krishna and Arjuna and William the Conqueror. And God knows how long Swamiji's been coming back. And here's the goosebumps. Who knows how long all of us have been coming back with them again and again? This show's been going on for a long time. And Babaji knows exactly what he's doing. And we just have to get better in tune with him, with the great masters, so that we can then even deeper become a part of their mission. That if we're a Jivan Mukta and we're responding very sensitively in every moment to the will of the masters to help people, we'll be able to help so much more. But if we go off on egoic tangents, no, I always do it like this. I want to do it like that. This works about me. Then they can't work through us, and they need us. They need instruments. That Master told Swamiji, I believe, or Rajarsi did, that Swamiji, they didn't call him Swamiji at that point, but Walter, you have a great work to do, and Master will give you the strength to do it. That's what Rajarsi said to him. But by extension, all of us have a great work to do, and that Master will give us also the strength to do it. That we have to know that, and we have to know Swamiji's counting on us. That you can't just think that he's going to do it without you. He's counting on us. And this world can sink into ever greater darkness, or it can raise up into the light. And each one of us, we have a personal responsibility. We have a mission. So after this satsang, don't just think, well, somebody else will do it. Look around. Look around. That we all have to work together, and that Master's counting on you. He's counting on you, and you have a mission. And that's really the essence of my satsang today. I'm just going to end here by reading a little bit more, where a visitor came to Master and said, uh, you call this a church of all religions, but you place so much emphasis on the Christian religion. And Master said, actually, we place emphasis on two of the world's great religions, Christianity and Hinduism. We concentrate especially on the teachings rather than on the religions of Jesus Christ and Krishna. I do so because that was the wish of Babaji. He and Jesus Christ together sent this mission. They are the first in our line of gurus. Um, so anyway, then this visitor had implied something more also. Well, why didn't the master then just teach all religions? And Master did say that his mission was to show the essence of all religions. It was never his purpose to compare various scriptural passages intellectually in order to show their similarity. And you see, his mission and that of our line of gurus was to show the essential oneness of truth itself. It is at their deepest level that all religions are one. And for this purpose, it sufficed to show the oneness of only two of the great world religions. So only studying the Bible and the Gita or whatever and then talking about it, that's not enough. That we need to go inward and we need to feel the essence, the truth. And it's best to really just take one. Just take master, master. Go deep into his teachings until you, boom, then you'll expand out into all of them. And then you'll know from your own inner self, yes, it's all one. So anyway, my time is up. I've really enjoyed this. I just enjoy tuning in. For me, this is also part of tuning into what does Master want and just being with all of you and doing this work together. It's a great joy. So I want to close with just a visualization. Let's visualize each one of us being channels for Master, and let's visualize that light surrounding the entire planet, uplifting that planet. And it goes into each soul that is crying out to God saying, I want help. Then that's when they ask for it, this light can come. And let's just see this planet just populated by people who want God's light and that light flowing through all of us, all of our light connected and uplifting this planet. And let's rub our hands together and let's send out this visualization by chanting Om 3 times. Shanti, shanti.